Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. In this video lecture, I tell you that about West people suggest, and we always studying that why ionic radii is larger than cationic radii. Mean to say, anionic radii. Why anion is larger than the cation? Understand? So this I tell you about the brief justifications of this answer and the question, that why this anionic radii is larger than the cationic radii. So let's start. First of all, how anion are formed? Anion are basically formed by addition of the electron in the valence shell. When an electron is added to the atoms, so it forms the anion. Understand? It forms anion. Anion are basically the gaining of the electron. We all notice that the atoms have already nucleus, and you know that electron and proton are also present in the nucleus. Electron are residing outside of the nucleus and proton are residing inside of the nucleus. So when an atom gain electron, we know that atoms have already protons and electrons. Understand? So when we again adding the electron in atom, so the incoming electron, for example, we always noting that the similar species having the similar characteristics always repel each other. For example, electrons repel with electron, negative charge repel negative charge, positive charge repel positive charge, and attraction involved between the opposite charge particle. Understand? So incoming electron repelled by the electron which is already present in the nucleus. Understand? The electron which we now added in an atom is repelled by the electron which is already present. For example, if an atom has already electron, so when we added the electron, so the incoming electron repels by the electron present inside a nucleus. Electron present in an atom. Sorry, the proton noticed and remember that the electrons are residing outside of the nucleus, while proton always is present inside the nucleus. Here the example. For example, we potassium atoms we add the electron in the potassium atom, it develops the potassium anion. Understand? Now when we compare the size of the potassium atoms and the potassium anion, understand? So you notice that the size of the potassium anion is larger. Why is it is larger? We know that the number of shells remains same, but the electron, due to addition of the electron, there is slightly repelling of the shell. When the shell is slightly repelled, the size of an atom is increased. For example, in the potassium atom, when we adding the electron to the potassium atom, so the incoming electron, we know that the potassium atom has already the number of electron and number of proton inside it. So when we added the electron in the potassium atoms, so the incoming electron is repelled by the electron already present in the shell of the potassium atom. So that's why the slightly repulsion of the shell and the size of the potassium anion is increases. So now we compare the size. Understand? So why the size of the potassium atom is smaller as compared to potassium anion? Potassium atom is basically the atom, understand, which have the number of the electron and protons present same as the periodic position. But why the size of the potassium anion is longer? Due to formation of the cation. For example, we already discussed that every atom has electron and proton. So when we added, you know that potassium atom belong to the first three element of the group of the periodic table, so it have capacity to attain one electron. Understand? So when it have capacity to remove one electron and develop and attain the noble gas configuration. So when we add an electron in the same atom, and you know that metal of the alkali metal, potassium atom belong to the alkali metal, it has ability to remove one electron. Understand? So when we added the electron in the atom, so it has already electrons. When we added the electron in the atom, it already have electrons, so the incoming electron repels. In this case, this potassium atom, that potassium atom, understand, the size of the size of that potassium atom is smaller as compared to that, because it has an extra electron. This extra electron causes the repulsion. So that's why this size is longer than this size. We know that potassium atom have, although that's 17 electrons I think, and 70 protons. So this electron and proton are attracted. First, one proton is attracted to one electron and other proton attracted to one other proton. So in this case there are equal number of the proton and electron, understand? So in that case, they have some extra electron. This extra electron causes repulsion, that's why size is greater. So the cationic size of atom is smaller than anionic size of atom. Why? Suppose cation are formed by the losing of the electron from the atom, understand? So when an atom loses electron, it forms the cation. So the atomic size decreases due to smaller shrinking of shell. We know that when an atom loses electron, understand? And for example, we consider the example of sodium. Sodium has already the 11 electron as 11 proton. So when we remove and add electron from the sodium atom, so in the before removing the electron, sodium atom have electrons that are completely attracted by the number of the proton. Sodium atom have proton that are completely attracted by the same number of 11 number of electron. So when we remove one of the electron, understand? So the number of the proton is greater than as compared to number of protons, understand? In the previous slide, the number of electron is greater as compared to number of proton, but when we remove one of the proton from an sodium atom, understand? When we remove one of the proton sodium atom, so the number of when we remove one of the electron from the sodium atom, the number of the proton is greater as compared to number of the electron. So in that case there is no any repulsion, because nucleus, the valence electron, is completely tightened by the proton present inside the nucleus. So in that case the slight shrinking of the shell and the size of the atom size decreases. So hope you understand. So this is the easy answer of the question, why anion are longer than the cation and why cation are smaller than an anion, or why anion are larger than from the parent atom, or why cation are smaller than the parent atom. This is the brief justification. I hope you understand, and Allah Hafiz.